Can I Buy You a Drink? Part 2. A Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous part of this story, you can find a link to it in the description box below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fanfiction. Marinette felt her phone buzz and checked it to see a number she didn't recognize. "Hello?" she said, tucking some loose hair behind her ear. The wind had picked up, accenting September's presence. The leaves hadn't begun to change yet, but the temperature was starting to cool enough for sweater weather, and Marinette lived for it. There was nothing more pleasant than a cup of tea and an oversized cardigan shielding her arms as she read a book.
"Hey, so I'm, back in town and was wondering if we could meet up."
Her corgi, Peach, jumped up beside her and barked. "I'm sorry, who is this?" she asked. She hadn't hung out with a man one-on-one in, well, a long time.
"Adrien aggressed. Sorry, I know this might come off as a little," she heard him hesitate, "creepy, but Alia gave me your number and I would hate myself for not trying."
"Trying?"
"To ask you out again. I know this little place by Notre Dame, and—"
"Let me stop you right there, Agrest," Marinette said. She sighed, hating that her heart was reminding her of how handsome she found him at first. It wasn't safe. Dating businessmen always led to heartbreak. "I'm not interested in a date."
"Then can I buy you a drink? It's the least I can do. I've gotten my coworkers to try other bubble tea flavors thanks to you, after all."
She couldn't help but giggle at the image of foreigners choking on tapioca pearls at a business meeting. This guy was persistent, but not rude. That was a nice change. "Are you free this evening?" she asked.
"Tonight,
She heard him mumble on the other end as he talked to someone about moving a meeting.
What a coincidence! My plan's rescheduled, so I'm good to go."
"Okay, tonight it is then." Peach wouldn't stop barking as she hung up the phone. "What's wrong, princess?" she laughed, falling onto her back as her dog licked the makeup off her face. She was usually much more reserved than this. Was she excited because she heard his voice over the speakerphone? Marinette didn't think it mattered why Peach had more energy than usual. She'd take her out to drinks as a barrier between herself and Adrien, and give her an extra treat once they got back home. It was just drinks after all, and she had no plans of ordering alcohol. Besides, who would turn down a nice mocktail? She'd be lying if she said her heart wasn't beating a little faster as she picked out her outfit a few hours later. Marinette decided on a white blouse with a Peter Pan collar, a yellow cardigan, and a navy skirt. She thought brown boots were a cute addition, but it wasn't quite cold enough outside, so she settled for flats instead. It was one of her favorite ensembles, and it suited her schoolteacher aesthetic.
"You look like you're going on a date!"
Marinette fought a grin as her roommate entered her bedroom. "It's just drinks, Tiki," she protested, fighting the urge to fix her hair.
"Well, you went to the shelter to pet dogs and you came back with a corgi, so—"
She rolled her eyes and shrugged off her comment. Nothing was going to happen. Maybe an Instagram photo, tops. This is different.
"You're playing with fire."
"Okay, Mom," she teased. She grabbed her purse and stepped out, Peach on a leash in one hand and her keys in the other.
"Make sure you come back tonight,"
Tiki said, causing Marinette to blush as she closed the door behind her. 10 minutes later, she was sitting at the bar of a cafe, looking for the businessman. She quickly looked away as she saw him exit the bathroom, slightly embarrassed and worried that she looked eager. It wasn't a date. She wasn't ready to date again. He was just buying her a drink.
"Hey,"
Adrien said, sliding into the seat beside her.
"I swear I'm not late. I just stopped in the bathroom to wash my hands first."
"I'm not going to complain about a man's cleanliness," she said. "I ordered an appetizer. I hope you don't mind."
"Of course not. This is your meal after all."
"I told you. This is just drinks."
"You say that, but appetizers are the gateway food," he winked, waving the bartender over. "What are you having? Anything for Peach?"
She had to take a moment to compose herself, overwhelmed by how attractive he was. That, and thinking of her dog, earned him bonus points. "She'd like a bowl of sliced peaches, and I'll have orange juice."
"She likes them?"
"How do you think she got her name?"
"Fair enough. Can dogs eat them?"
"She gets a little diarrhea, but that hasn't stopped her yet."
"So she's stubborn, just like her owner."
Marinette rolled her eyes, already enjoying his company. This is dangerous. She shouldn't be doing this. She couldn't afford to fall for another traveling businessman. It was always the same ending, no matter how many times she tried to change it. Long nights after flashing a false smile at the airport, wondering if he's thinking about her during happy hour with a client. Long handwritten notes to bury deep in his pockets. She couldn't handle another lonely love affair.
"So," he said, "what do you do for work?"
"Me?
"You're the only one here."
There's plenty of people at this bar."
"You're the only one I see."
This guy is smooth. "Fashion design."
"Really?"
"No, I run a cosplay shop online."
"That's awesome. Like, for anime and stuff?"
She felt a blush creeping up her neck. He wasn't dismissing it? Was he some kind of creepy weeaboo, or genuinely interested? It depends on what the customer wants, as well as what I'm comfortable with.
"What do you mean?"
Adrien asked. "I have some pre-made designs for some shows, and other times I'll customize an outfit for a different show, but I don't design the fan service."
"Like shows where the girl is in a halter top and booty shorts?"
"Yeah, nothing against the people who watch them, but I refuse to support that type of thing in any way, so..."
"That's the beauty of being self-employed."
"Turning down offers?"
"Not having to compromise."
Marinette was relieved at his response, unaware of whether or not he agreed with it. "Well," she said, taking the last sip, "it looks like I'm done here. Thank you for the drink."
"You don't want to stay for the appetizer?"
She could tell he was fighting back the urge to grab her arm. "No. Thank you for the company." If she stayed any longer, she might never leave. He's lovely company.
"Do I get to see you again?"
"I don't see that happening."
"It's my loss then."
That's it? He didn't press again? He's just letting her go? She wasn't used to that. "Let's go, Peach." She tugged on the leash, and her corgi whined, taking a moment to look at Adrien before her human took her away.
"You've been pleasant company too, Peach," he said,
scratching her head before Marinette pulled her away. With that, she left, grateful her sunglasses could hide her face. He was too much for her. She couldn't place what adjective he was yet, but he was too much... something. Frustratingly enough, all of the words she could use to describe him were positive. And Marinette wasn't ready to risk her heart. Not yet. Thank you so much for listening. Part 3 is on its way. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos below for more fanfiction. And for some behind-the-scenes look at how I record fanfiction, you can check out my vlog channel. I'll catch you next time.